Good morning to you. This is Talk Breakfast with me, Julia Hartley-Brewer. Coming up, we are going to be talking about what's happening in Ukraine. And again, a big retreat from Russian forces from the city of Kherson. You remember, we saw videos from Kherson, the first actually regional capital that was seized by the Russians. That retreat is seen as a big humiliation for Vladimir Putin. Is that turning the tide in that war? Will we see peace talks coming soon? That's what many people are hoping. I wonder if there'll be peace talks when it comes to Just Stop Oil. Yet again, fourth day in a row, we've seen climate protesters from Just Stop Oil blockading parts of the M25, the orbital ring road around our capital city. This on a day when the capital city is facing tube strikes across the whole city and overground too. Queues building up in Essex, in Berkshire and in central London as well. This comes, of course, after a day where we saw two lorries collide in a moving rolling roadblock by police and a police officer on a motorcycle getting injured. We had seen a number of arrests, including that of a journalist just doing her job. Well, let's talk about all of this right now with Peter Blexley. He's a former Metropolitan Police detective. Good morning to you, Peter.
Good morning.
I think we've all just had enough, frankly, of these people. I keep talking to people who support them, who say, like, but the world's dying, we're all going to die, we have to have action now, and we've got no choice. People always have a choice, don't they?
Oh, they most certainly do. And there is very much a choice not to break the law, not to act in such a selfish and thoughtless way, which has impacted so hugely on tens upon tens of thousands of people. But of course, this throws up a number of issues, particularly the policing of this. We saw Suella Braverman yesterday calling on the police to really get a firm grip on this. And I think there may be issues here because we've got such a number of police forces involved because, of course, the M25, the orbital road, cuts through Kent, Essex, Surrey, Hertfordshire.
I mean, surely they can speak to each other. That shouldn't be beyond the wit. I mean, Home Secretary Suella Braverman told police to step up, stop humouring the eco-activists. The response, though, from the Metropolitan Police Chief, the new one, Mark Rowley, his response was, we can't take snipers to people who are climbing the gantries. I think there might be a lot of people stuck in queues, including perhaps that poor man who was interviewed yesterday on the media who missed his own father's funeral because of these protests, who apparently were perfectly happy for snipers to take down these people.
Yeah, I think that's a very unwise and unhelpful comment from the Commissioner of the Met, because quite simply, if there was coordinated, joined up thinking and operational efforts being made here, I'm sure they should be able to do a far better job than what they're doing at the moment. I get that it's complex, but this is 2022. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that officers link arms around the M25 and stop this disruption. I'm being a bit facetious.
Yeah, no, but it must be, we saw that egg being thrown at King Charles yesterday, and quite rightly, a protester who did that was arrested. But, within seconds, whereas we've seen, as many people point out, often we see protests when people glue themselves to the road, the police effectively turn into a catering service. And we've even seen, the police sort of telling off the members of the public who are trying to clear these people. You're sitting in the road, you're not allowed to sit in the road. I think you've got the right to drag some. You haven't got the right to go and punch that person or anything else, or drive over them, but you have got the right to drag them out of the road. I think that's a perfectly reasonable response. And this is it. Suella Braverman also warned police about this, that, this is leading to law-abiding members of society trying to go about their daily lives, making a living, maybe going to a job interview, trying to visit someone in hospital, get themselves, their baby to hospital. We've seen all of these stories coming about that actually people are getting desperate and they're getting frustrated. And this is really crucial. And this is the case when it comes to, people they're not prosecuting burglaries, they're not prosecuting even violent crime often. And they're like, that actually people don't feel that the police are on their side anymore.
No, and they don't feel that they're doing their job properly. And we know that trust and confidence in the police is at an all-time low. And this is an example of where they could really engage with the public. They could really act, respond, be forthright, be robust, and get millions of people on side suddenly thinking, once again, our police are there for us. And
when they have done that, when they have taken swift action, when they've had some protests in central London, they've been given lots and lots of praise. And I do think often it's the junior police officers, on the actual beat, doing the hard work. They are being held back often by the senior police officers who want to sort of go, softly, rather than actually it's their decision on the ground.
And part of the problem is that these senior police officers, who may have been promoted 7 or 8 times in their careers, have basically spent so little time doing operational frontline policing, because many of them were scared of that and couldn't wait to get away from it, that they've spent too long in the corridors of policing power, quite frankly, losing touch with the public and losing touch with what the public would like the frontline officers to be doing.
Absolutely. Peter Blexley, always good to talk to you. Voice of common sense there, former Met Police detective. Thank you very much indeed. Benedict Spence is still with me in the studio. I mean, I think he just speaks for the whole nation, but I think he also speaks for an awful lot of police officers who are also frustrated. Put down the rainbow flags. Stop the dancing, the TikToks, and just get on with doing your job, please.
I think that's entirely true. Most police officers, the overwhelming number of police officers, do not get into the business in order to be sort of wishy-washy and soft on crime.